Hey guys, how are you? Hope you're all doing well. I am here today with a little tutorial for you. This is the makeup that I wore to IMATS Sydney this year. I'll take my glasses off to show you. All the eye makeup minus the base is, well, the eyeshadows are from the Nude Tude palette from the Balm, which looks like that. And I, basically used a bunch of products that I enjoy using. This is basically all the stuff that I took to Sydney with me, and it's all travel friendly, minus the two gigantic the Balm palettes. Unfortunately, the mirror from the Rockstar palette didn't make it. As you can see here, it didn't make it home very safely. It was okay when it got to Sydney, but I think the people packing the bags onto the plane on the way home were a bit rough because that mirror broke, my Laura Mercier pressed powder broke, my favourite Essence blush broke, and yeah, one of the lids, I think, to my moisturiser cracked. So yeah, someone was a little bit rough. Anyway, if you want to see how I did this tutorial, please keep watching. Alright, so I've already prepped my skin by putting serum on and moisturising. Then I will use my Stila One Step Correct, mainly as a primer, not particularly as a colour corrector. I pretty much only use this as a primer. I find that it doesn't particularly do anything much as a colour corrector. Anyway, use my hands. Then using my Natio fluid makeup with moisturiser in the shade Light with my Real Techniques Expert Face Brush. And I find that even though this foundation says that it has moisturiser in it, I find that I do need to put a moisturiser on beforehand. It just hasn't got enough moisture in it to put by itself. I find it quite drying. Anyway, just buffing that in to the skin with my brush. And with my Real Techniques stippling brush, I'm just going to buff it in a little bit more just to make it look a bit more blended, a bit more like an airbrush technique. Now on to concealer using the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Dark Circles. This is in the shade Fair. I like that this is the one that twists up, and I like the sponge applicator on top. I'm using this under my eyes as well as on any spots and blemishes that I have all over, and I'm using my finger to blend this in. I find it much easier than a brush. Now to mattify, using my Laura Mercier translucent pressed setting powder with my Real Techniques blush brush. Going in, tapping off the excess and concentrating on the T-zone and under my eyes, and whatever's left, just put wherever. Prepping my lips with my One Skin Solution Vanilla Lip Balm, just because my lips were pretty dry that day. Okay, moving on to eyes. I'm using the Essence Ballerina Backstage Eye Souffle in Par de Copper, which unfortunately has been discontinued, but you can use any cream eyeshadow or creamy primer. You can use a Stila Prime Pot, a MAC Paint Pot. Face of Australia have a good range of cream eyeshadows as well. I'm just using my finger to put this all over the eyelid and a little bit over the crease just to make my shadows stick better to my lid. Now using the Maybelline Colour Tattoo Metal in Barely Branded and concentrating this on the inner half of my eye, sort of making a gradient effect with my cream shadows. Now you could leave it at this, but I decided to amp it up with my Nude Tude palette by the Balm Taking the colour Selfish with a flat shader brush, I put a thin layer on top of my cream shadows. Now because it is a thin layer, you could still see the gradient of the cream shadows underneath. Taking a clean flat shader brush and the colour Sophisticated, which is a darker brown, concentrating on the outer half. Then with a clean blending brush, just blending the outer sort of corners just to make it less harsh. Now mixing two dark browns, Silly and Sleek, tapping off any excess onto the back of my hand. I'm concentrating this in the outer V and pulling it slightly into the crease, as you'll see me do sort of now-ish. There we go. Then blend the outsides again. Once you get that all to your liking, I've taken Sexy, which is a red brown, with the blending brush and made that almost a transition colour just to add a little bit of contrast, a bit of difference just to the crease. Just added a bit of interest, I guess. Now, as a bit of a highlight, I've taken the white colour to my brow bone. And because I still had some of the Barely Branded on my finger, I decided to use that to smudge it out. Now taking the Natio eyeliner, this is an automatic eyeliner in black. Yes, it is automatic, thank you. I decided to do just a thin-ish line on my upper lash line. But then I took a sort of straight brush and smudged it out a little bit. This step was pretty hard considering I'm very short-sighted and was using a little tiny mirror to do this, so bear with me. I took whatever product was left onto my lower lash line, just in the outer third. Now taking my Benefit They're Real little deluxe mini sample size, I'm just adding mascara. I love this brush. I love how you can use the ends to make them a bit longer, and that's how they look. Then I'm using my MAC Volume Flash Waterproof just to do my bottom lashes. Unfortunately, I didn't get a very good view of me doing that, but it's all good. Next up, I took a Furless Cosmetics blush brush and took out my Balm Jovi palette, with the blush from the palette, which is actually the Frat Boy blush, I put that all over the cheeks. And then taking a Real Techniques blush brush, going into the highlighter, which is actually the Mary Lou-manizer, putting that on top of my cheekbones. Last step, on my lips, I'm putting the Colour Whisper by Maybelline in the shade Who Wore It Redder, which is actually not too much of a red when I put it on my lips. It's more of a red with a pink sort of tone to it. Anyway, just filling in my lips with that. So I hope you enjoyed my IMATS makeup look. I'll put my glasses on so I can see. But please leave me a comment below if you would like to see any other makeup looks. whether they be celebrity inspired or runway inspired, or any colours, or yeah, anything that you've seen about. Just, yeah, let me know and I will try and do it for you. But yeah, thanks for watching and I will talk to you next time. Bye!